very nice hotels on the beaches. Driving was sometimes very hard in the deep sand or a lot of potholes. And on the other hand, we had some great asphalt. And as a total, it was a really great experience to meet all different kind of peoples, different countries, and to come here in 2.5 weeks.
This fleet of vehicles will be on auction at the Independence Stadium on Sunday, 23rd February at 10 a.m. and proceeds from the sale will go on to provide quality social services to local communities. Uminjai, GRTS.
Well, time now to take our first break. International news is next. Welcome back. There is security instability in the Great Lakes region often sends thousands of desperate refugees on the move in search of safe havens. Rwanda has been one of few countries providing shelter for these refugees. Authorities in Kigali have opened a new camp that is expected to host more than 10,000 refugees from neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. We have details in this report.
A convoy arriving in Mugambwa, South Rwanda. The first group of 800 Congolese refugees getting off UN coaches. They are arriving from the northwest of the country where 10,000 compatriots are being crowded into a transit camp not far from the Rwanda-Congo border.
There was not enough room for 2,500 people.
South Rwanda. A first group of 800 Congolese refugees getting off UN coaches. They are arriving from the northwest of the country where 10,000 compatriots are being crowded into a transit camp not far from the Rwanda-Congo border.
There was not enough room for 2,500 people. For them to be able to live in good conditions, we needed to open this fifth camp. And this is the camp we just inaugurated.
Fighting between the Congolese army and M23 rebels last year caused a new influx of Congolese refugees in Rwanda. These are mainly Congolese nationals of Rwandan origin. Some crossed the border a year and a half ago. They are all dreaming of the day they can return to the green hills of North Kivu.
At the end of the M23 rebellion, some refugees went home thinking that things had calmed down. But they were killed when they got there. Men were mutilated, emasculated. As I speak, people are still being killed there. Women are being raped in our hills. The violence hasn't stopped.
This new camp, opened 130 kilometers to the south of Kigali, is the fifth to shelter Congolese nationals of Rwandan origin fleeing violence in eastern DRC. An estimated 55,000 of them are currently on the territory.
A month after electing a new president, Madagascar is still trying to put together a functioning government. Former head of state André Rajoelina has rejected the offer of the post of prime minister. We have details of that story in this report.
In a press conference, Madagascar's former strongman, Ange Rajoel, criticised the man he supported to become president of Madagascar, Eri Rajaonarimampianina. Ange Rajoel says the new president is a traitor, since he intends to include party members from his main rival, Ravalomanan's party, in the newly elected government.
The people who had called for the actual president to be disqualified now say they will support him, that their program is the same. Ange Rajoel doesn't accept hypocrisy. That is why I will not accept the post of Prime Minister.
Ange Rajoel's decision complicates the political situation, since his party has a majority in Parliament, and so the post of Prime Minister falls to him. But over the past weeks, it has become clear that Ange Rajoel has become a problem for the new president. The press has closely followed the falling out between the two leaders. Public opinion is divided between support for Ange Rajoel and ambitions for change.
He has done good things for Madagascar. He has built hospitals, he has taken care of the poor and the poorest of the poor. No one else will do what he has done. It would be good if he became Prime Minister. We really need a new face in the post of Prime Minister. That way we'll have a new president and a new Prime Minister. But if it's Ange Rajoel and his allies, we'll have a lot of trouble.
Life is so hard that people have to search to find food. I think people want a Prime Minister who is fair and who thinks about the people and who brings down the price of rice. Madagascar's lasting economic crisis has meant people are putting all of their hopes in a new government, but political squabbling has returned to the forefront, and the country is still waiting for a Prime Minister.
Ukraine's embattled President Viktor Yanukovych's reign as president is slowly drawing to a close after the country's parliament agreed to remove him from power. Mr. Yanukovych swiftly fled to his power base in the east of the country, and as we hear in this report, defiant protesters have moved in to surround the presidential palace in Kiev.
Animated parliamentary session Saturday, Ukraine had the impression that its future was unfurling, a future without President Yanukovych.
Unfortunately, President Yanukovych, who did not listen to the people, withdrew from his constitutional duties. Today, he left the capital.
Yanukovych, whose whereabouts were unknown, appeared on television Saturday to say he was going to the east of the country. He said he would not resign, called the events in Parliament a coup, and Parliament's new decisions unlawful. Parliament had sacked the Interior Minister and named an opposition figure to replace him. It also elected a parliamentarian from the opposition as Speaker to replace a Yanukovych ally who stood down due to ill health.
The authorities in Ukraine are getting down to work. They are beginning their work to stabilize Ukraine. The center of power in Ukraine is here, in Ukraine's parliament.
Alexander Tornichov is a close ally of former Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko, the iconic opposition leader who was jailed in 2011. The Ukrainian parliament voted Saturday to speed up her release without the need of the president's endorsement. Tymoshenko's daughter said she would go to meet her mother. This is the first victory, but not the last one for our country. In a few hours, I will be leaving for Kharkov and will be standing there and waiting when my mother will walk free. On Friday, Yanukovych and the opposition had reached an agreement to end the crisis. It entailed early elections, a change in the constitution, and a government of national unity. Ukrainians are beginning to hope for a better future, but judging by their presence in central Kiev, they appear ready to go on with their battle.
And from that international, a quick look at our top stories. His Excellency the President, National Chairman and Party Leader of the APRC, Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya A.J.J. Jammeh, has appointed Sifari Haidara of Brikama Town as the West Coast Regional Women Mobilizer. Hundreds of mourners from the Gambia and beyond have decided